Have you ever been called lazy? Maybe by your parents, your teachers, or even your friends. Maybe you've heard it so many times that you started believing it yourself. You're just lazy. You have no ambition. You'll never amount to anything. Maybe you've carried that label like a weight on your shoulders for years, wondering if they're right. But what if I told you that the people who call you lazy simply don't understand what's happening inside you? What if one man's story could prove that what looks like laziness is sometimes a mind waiting for the right moment to explode with purpose? This is the story of a man everyone dismissed, everyone mocked, everyone forgot about, until the day they saw him on their TV screens, and the silence that followed was deafening. Stay with me until the end, because this story might change how you see yourself forever. In a middle-class neighborhood in the outskirts of Portland, there lived a boy named Marcus. From the age of 12, Marcus carried a reputation he couldn't shake: the lazy kid. While other children rushed to finish homework, Marcus stared out the window. While his classmates played sports after school, Marcus lay on his bed, headphones on, doing what everyone called nothing. His room was a mess. His grades were average at best. His parents, both hard-working teachers, couldn't understand him. "Marcus, why can't you be more like your sister?" his mother would say. His sister Emma was perfect. Straight A's, basketball captain, college bound at 16. And there was Marcus, 17 years old, barely passing, barely trying, barely there. His father was harsher. "Son, laziness is a disease. If you don't fix it now, you'll be a failure your whole life." Marcus would nod, say nothing, and return to his room. What they didn't know, what nobody knew, was that Marcus wasn't doing nothing. Inside his head was a storm of ideas, questions, observations. He watched people obsessively, not in a creepy way, but in a fascinated way. He noticed how his mother's voice changed when she was disappointed versus when she was angry. He saw how his father's shoulders slumped differently depending on what kind of day he had at work. He observed his classmates, their insecurities, their masks, their patterns. Marcus was listening to the world in a way nobody else was. But because he didn't translate it into grades or goals, everyone called him lazy. High school ended with no ceremony, no celebration. Marcus graduated, barely, and enrolled in community college because his parents insisted. He lasted 1 semester. The classes felt pointless. The lectures felt empty. He dropped out. His father exploded. "I knew it! You're going to waste your entire life!" His mother cried. "Marcus, what are you going to do? You can't just do nothing forever." But Marcus didn't know what to do. He was 19 years old, living in his parents' basement, working part-time at a grocery store, stocking shelves at night. During the day, he slept. His family stopped talking about him at dinner. His sister, now at Stanford, would come home for holidays and barely acknowledge him. The extended family whispered, "Poor Marcus, such potential, all wasted." By age 24, Marcus was still in that basement, still stocking shelves, still labeled lazy. His parents had stopped hoping. They had made peace with the idea that their son would never be anything special. Marcus himself believed it too. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am just lazy. Maybe this is all I'll ever be. Then one cold January evening, something happened that cracked Marcus's world open. Marcus was stocking the cereal aisle at 11 p.m. when he overheard two former classmates talking near the bread section. He recognized their voices immediately. Jake and Connor both had gone to college. Both had good jobs now. "Dude, did you hear Marcus Thompson still works here? Night shift stocker." Connor laughed. "Marcus? That lazy kid from bio class? I'm not surprised. Some people are just born without drive." "Yeah. Remember how he'd just stare at the wall during class? Weird kid. Guess he's still doing nothing with his life." They walked away laughing. Marcus stood frozen, holding a box of cornflakes, his hands shaking. Not with sadness, with rage. A rage he had buried for 12 years. That night, Marcus didn't go straight home. He sat in his beat-up Toyota in the parking lot until 3 a.m. The engine off. The silence crushing. He looked at his reflection in the rearview mirror. A 24-year-old man who looked tired, defeated, invisible. And for the first time in his life, Marcus asked himself a different question. Not, "Why am I like this?" but, "What if I'm not lazy? What if I'm just lost?" The question hung in the cold air. What if everything they said about me is wrong? What if I just haven't found the thing that makes me come alive? He drove home in silence. The house was dark. His parents were asleep. He walked down to his basement room, but he didn't go to bed. He opened his laptop, an old Dell from 2011 that barely worked, and he typed into Google, "How do people find their purpose?" For 3 hours, Marcus read articles, watched videos, scrolled through forums. Then he stumbled onto a TED Talk by a psychologist named Dr. Helen Vargas. She was talking about late bloomers, people who found success after 30, after 40, even after 50. She said something that hit Marcus like lightning. Society mistakes observation for laziness. The people you call unmotivated are often the deepest thinkers. They're not lazy, they're waiting to understand what their unique wiring is built for. Marcus replayed that sentence 5 times, waiting to understand what their unique wiring is built for. He thought about all the years he'd spent observing people, how he could read a room in seconds, how he understood emotions nobody spoke out loud, how he noticed patterns in behavior that others missed. What if that wasn't useless? What if that was something? At 6:17 a.m., as the sun began to rise, Marcus made a decision. "I'm going to stop apologizing for who I am. I'm going to figure out what I'm built for, and I'm going to prove every single person wrong." The next evening, Marcus didn't just go to work. He went with a plan. During his breaks, instead of scrolling his phone, he started watching YouTube videos on human psychology, body language, and communication. He discovered an entire world he didn't know existed. Channels like Charisma on Command, Vanessa Van Edwards, and former FBI agents teaching interrogation techniques. Marcus devoured them. He watched during his 1 5-minute breaks. He watched on the bus. He watched before bed. Within 2 weeks, he had watched over 40 hours of content. But watching wasn't enough. Marcus needed practice. So he started a strange experiment. At the grocery store, during his shift, he began testing what he learned. When a customer looked frustrated, he'd approach differently. "Rough day?" he'd ask gently. 9 out of 10 times, they'd unload their stress. Marcus would listen, mirror their body language, offer a kind word, Customers started remembering him. "You're that nice guy in aisle 7, his manager noticed. "Marcus, I don't know what you're doing, but customers are asking for you. Keep it up." For the first time in his life, Marcus felt something click. This is what I'm good at, understanding people. 3 months into his obsession, Marcus discovered something called cold reading, a technique used by mentalists and psychologists to make highly accurate guesses about someone based on tiny behavioral cues. He practiced on co-workers, friends, even his parents. His accuracy was unsettling. "How did you know I was stressed about money?" his mother asked one day. Marcus shrugged. "Your hands. You've been rubbing your thumb and index finger together all week. You only do that when you're worried about bills." His mother stared at him, shocked. I didn't even realize I was doing that." Marcus started reading books, real books. What Everybody is Saying by Joe Navarro, The Like Switch by Jack Schafer, Influence by Robert Cialdini. He read 1 book per week. His basement room, once a symbol of failure, became a library. But Marcus wanted more than knowledge. He wanted proof that he could do something with this. So at age 25, he did something bold. He created a YouTube channel. He called it Read the Room. His first video was simple: 3 body language signs someone is lying to you. He filmed it on his phone, edited it on free software, uploaded it at midnight. 10 views in the first week, all probably his own rewatches. But Marcus didn't quit. He made another video, then another. How to tell if someone likes you in 30 seconds. Why your boss doesn't respect you and how to fix it. Every week, 1 video. 6 months in, he had 247 subscribers. Not viral, not successful, but growing. Then, 1 video changed everything. I analyzed a job interview frame. By frame, here's what the employer really saw. It hit 10,000 views in 3 days, then 50,000, then 200,000. Comments flooded in. This is incredible. Why isn't this taught in school? Who is this guy? Marcus's heart pounded as he read them. For the first time in his life, people weren't calling him lazy. They were calling him brilliant. Within a year, Read the Room had 150,000 subscribers. Marcus quit his grocery store job. His parents didn't believe him. "Marcus, YouTube isn't a career," but Marcus had saved money from ad revenue. He had a plan. He reached out to a local news station offering to analyze body language in political debates. They laughed him off. He tried 3 more stations. Finally, a small morning show in Seattle gave him a chance. "You have 5 minutes, make it interesting." Marcus analyzed a celebrity interview, pointing out micro-expressions, contradictions, hidden stress. The segment went viral online. 500,000 views. The station called him back. "Can you do this every week?" 2 years after that night in the parking lot, Marcus received a call that changed his life. It was from a producer at a major national network. "We're launching a new show called The Truth Detective. We need someone who can analyze people in real time, live TV, high stakes. We've seen your work. Are you interested?" Marcus couldn't speak. Finally, he managed, "Yes, absolutely yes." The show launched 6 months later. The format was simple. Viewers sent in videos of people, politicians, influencers, anyone in the public eye, and Marcus, live on TV, would break down their body language, detect lies, reveal hidden emotions. It was part education, part entertainment, completely addictive. The show exploded. Within 3 months, it was the #2 show in its time slot. Marcus became a household name. Articles called him the human lie detector. Podcasts wanted him. Universities invited him to speak. And then, one Sunday evening, the episode aired. The one that brought everything full circle. Marcus's family was watching. His parents, his sister Emma, his aunts, uncles, cousins, all the people who had whispered about him for years. On screen, Marcus was analyzing a viral video of a CEO denying workplace harassment. With calm precision, Marcus pointed out every tell, every micro-expression, every lie. Notice the shoulder shrug at 0:14. That's a subconscious gesture of doubt. He doesn't believe his own words. At 0:31, watch his lips disappear. That's suppressed anxiety. This man is lying. 3 days later, the CEO resigned amid new evidence. Marcus's analysis had been correct. The media went wild. Marcus Thompson, the man who sees what we miss. His phone exploded with messages, but one message stood out. It was from Jake, his former classmate, the one who had called him lazy in the grocery store. Marcus, man, I saw you on TV. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I was wrong about you. What you're doing is incredible. Marcus stared at the message for a long time. Then he typed back, Thanks, Jake. I was wrong about me too. 1 year after that first national TV appearance, Marcus sat in a modern apartment in downtown Seattle, sunlight streaming through tall windows. His parents visited him that week. His father, the same man who once called laziness a disease, stood in Marcus's home office, looking at the awards on the wall, the books Marcus had written, the framed screenshots of messages from people Marcus had helped. Son, his father said, his voice breaking, I owe you an apology. I spent your entire childhood calling you lazy. I didn't see what you were doing. I didn't understand. Marcus put a hand on his father's shoulder. You couldn't have known, Dad. I didn't know either. His mother hugged him tightly. I'm so proud of you, not because you're on TV, but because you didn't give up on yourself. That evening, Marcus recorded a video for his YouTube channel, now at 4 million subscribers. He titled it, To Everyone Who Called Me Lazy. In it, he said, For everyone watching this, who's been called lazy, unmotivated, or a failure, I want you to hear this. You're not broken. You're not defective. You might just be wired differently. The world rewards speed, but some of us need time. Time to observe. Time to think. Time to find the thing that makes us come alive. Don't apologize for that. Your timeline is not their timeline. And when you finally find your thing, when you finally step into who you were meant to be, the same people who doubted you will go silent. Not because you proved them wrong, but because you proved yourself right. The video got 12 million views in 1 week.